Youth in Government. My name is Nikki Wood.
I'm Eden Ohayon.
And I'm Gemma Sokol, and welcome to Y-Line.
Throughout our program, we'll be giving you in-depth coverage on the new political party system, which is changing the face of youth in government this year.
And we'll also explore the Supreme Court program and get insight into the elections committees discussing ideas for changing the elections of Chief Justice next year.
You know, the political party program area really is stirring things up lately.
Definitely. And I know candidates have always proposed the idea of a political party system, but never actually had it.
That's right. This is the first year that it's actually implemented into the program, and I got to take a closer look.
The political party's idea came from a staff person called Dustin Buss. He used to work as the advisor to the Secretary of State office, so he was really familiar with how youth in government elections and campaigns were held. And political parties was a way that he could reform that, and I think a very effective way that it was reformed. And so he basically brainstormed this entire idea and was able to take it from just a small idea to an actual proposal to something that was passed through governing board to something that's an actual program area.
This program has had a huge influence, I think, on the youth governor's elections for this year.
Absolutely. At Bob 2, things didn't go exactly as they had planned. The plan was to have primary elections within each party, but since only 4 candidates signed up to be endorsed, and each under a different party, what happened was, essentially, the remaining candidates were just vying for that 5th unaffiliated spot.
Well, and I think the whole process changed dramatically, especially for the candidates and the campaigning process, because this is the first year where they had sponsors and a complete party backing them up and supporting them, and I mean, that's huge.
Absolutely. When I had a chance to speak with them, they gave me a lot of insight into what their own experience was with this new way of doing elections.
Political parties was a really cool way for youth in government to change all of the different program areas within youth in government, but specifically the elections process. I think everyone has noticed the huge impact it has on campaigns and elections for all sorts of positions. So it was a great way for youth in government to incorporate something that happens in the real world into our program.
This year's youth governor candidates were faced with the difficult decision of whether or not to become endorsed by a party, a new task on the youth in government election front.
I actually think it's a really good fit for my political views. The Toga Party is all about increased social liberties and basically allowing people to do whatever they want as long as it doesn't impose on anyone else's social liberties. And this is pretty much exactly what I believe in should be implemented in our actual government. I'm all in favor of just as many liberties for people as possible, and that's what Toga Party's in favor of too. So it's a good fit.
Oh, well, I think it was actually I first initially signed up with the Toga Party, not Lorax. But I thought I talked to a few members of leadership within the program, and they thought rather than Jake and I, who they assumed were fairly strong candidates, going against each other in the primary, that they'd really like to see a more really competitive race in the long term. So from that opinion, I completely agreed. I thought it'd be best for the program and youth in government to really have a really competitive race and a long race. So that people don't make their minds up right after Bob 2, that they really have to think about it a lot at Sacramento. So for that, I went to the Golden Party and thought they also represented my needs a lot better than the Toga Party, I believe.
I think as an unaffiliated candidate, I can pertain to all delegates' needs and all their platforms and all their intricacies of the political party platforms, because I think that the political party platforms really takes away from the details and the intricacies of people's needs and people's wants and people's opinions.
You know, I decided to become endorsed when running my campaign because I felt like in order to run an effective campaign, I wanted a larger group of supporters other than my delegation. And so I tried to find a party that really associated their ideals with mine so that I was able to properly represent that party. But I did feel that it was important to be a part of the system because it was new and I wanted to try it out and see how it was going. And I think it was a really beneficial thing to do.
Man, get your candidates locked up tight. Know what they're going to say at all times, know how they're going to act. No, tell them how to act, tell them what to do, and make sure you're on it, always.
Oh, well, the Leaf Party endorsement has helped me so much in the race. At Bob 2, I was eating lunch one day, and I just looked up and I saw a huge sign that said my name, and I had no idea that it was even put up or anything. But the Leaf Party put it up for me, and it made me feel so good.
Well, I've recently acquired a personal page who I've appointed to act as my political party since I'm not affiliated with a political party. She is pretty much acting as a political party staff member. Right now she is on a mission for me getting poster paper, and poster paper costs $200, and I only have a $500 spending budget, whereas political parties have $20,000 to $40,000 spending budgets, because that's the disadvantage of being unaffiliated.
However, candidates were not the only ones to become affiliated. Each delegate had the option to join a party as well, potentially influencing their votes in the governor's race.
Though the system isn't perfect, it seems to be off to a great start.
With any new program area, problems are anticipated, but I'm sure that they're dealing with them.
Yeah, and when I talked to the political party chairs themselves, they all had very positive things to say about the future for this program.
The 4 political party chairs met with us to discuss their accomplishments this year.
This year we've managed to elect the Speaker Pro Tem, Ryan Fleming. We've managed to get in both of the Secretary of State candidates were put in as golden, and now by tomorrow they'll have the election. And we've also managed to get Amin Merchant, and we've managed to also make a decent impression on the many of the political people in power currently.
Well, I definitely think that we've really helped. I mean, all of us parties have helped establish kind of what the political party system is going to be like. I think what LEAF has done most effectively is really have a symbol. Obviously you see the leaf and you know it's LEAF, and as parties are going to come up in the future, they're going to think symbolism. How are we going to have something that's really recognizable? And I think everyone knows that LEAF, environmentalism, it all works. It just makes sense.
Well, a guy named Warren McQuinn. I'm not sure if many of you guys know him. We got him in office. Another dude named Paul Zubitov, I don't know, maybe that guy. We have him in office too. Let's see, Alfred Huang. He's one of our boys also. He's running with the Forum boys. And, Rex, he's one of ours as well. So we've gotten pretty good with our officers this year.
Well, without giving anything away to our competing parties, I think a lot of hard work is basically what's behind it. While everyone else is in session, we are working on strategy, we are working on recruitment, we are working on making ourselves dominant. And so it's a lot of hard work.
With all of the uncertainty that comes with novelty, there's bound to be some difficulty.
Bob 1 and Bob 2 were absolutely insane. We were working like crazy the entire time. Just at times I felt like I wanted to go across the political party's office and smash a book over every single one of the chairs' heads, because it just got so intense and cutthroat. But now that we've gotten more of a feel of it, I know what's going on, what we needed to do. I think Bob 1 was more of the trial run though.
I think a lot of people have been complaining, and with reason, that the platforms are very unclear, that they don't know what each party stands for, and that the platforms haven't really mattered. I think that for next year it'd be really cool if somehow legislation would have to do with the parties, so each party could endorse bills that pass through or talk to lobbyists, and really get it to be more about politics and not just getting people elected, although that's super important. Go Michael Sachs. But really kind of influencing policy. That'd be really cool.
This program has essentially been a learning process for the chairs and their staff. The problems they encountered along the way have not deterred them, but rather provided them with inspiration for the future.
Well, I would love to be able to show the future parties what a 2-year party chairman can do, as I am the only junior party chairman. But I would also like them to realize that they're going to need to put a lot of time and a lot of effort making sure that their conventions, that their campaigns are run efficiently and smoothly with a lot of marketing and campaign advisement, and making sure that everybody is managed correctly.
I think future parties should learn, to have fun with it, really pick parties that are meaningful to themselves, but also they can play around with and think of really great ideas. That's the cool part. It's our signs got creative. Conventions are kind of this place where anything goes. Really just think creatively and out of the box. And for those people who feel like they have bigger, better dreams for YNG, I think the political party system is really a place to go.